Oh, I'm sorry, guys. We'll be in starting about 3 to 5 minutes. It'll just be me and Liam tonight. For some reason, Spotify's not working, so I'm sorry about that. Hello, everybody. Oh, we gotta restart capture for a lot of things real quick. There we go. Hi, everybody. Sorry. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Northeast Ohio Sports Show. It's Thursday, December 18th, and it's our 37th episode. Hope everyone's having a great day. We have live scores above us for the NFL, and then we have scores below us for the NFL, NBA. We also have some hockey going on. I need to add hockey in here again. We'll pour that over F1 now that we're in the winter. First topic of the day is a funny, not so funny topic. It's the overview of the incident. Is basically about Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy, a well-known, outspoken New England Pats fan. Patriots ignited a viral sports moment on December 14th during the Patriots game against the Buffalo Bills. With New England leading early 21-0, I've seen a lot of memes about this online. Portnoy posted a confident social media video declaring that the Patriots were dominating, calling them back and the league's top team, and asserting that the NFL goes through New England again. He leaned heavily on the past Patriot success and proclaimed that they are the kings of the AFC. However, the narrative rapidly reversed. The Patriots surrendered the lead, and the Bills mounted a dramatic comeback to win 35-31, completing one of the season's most memorable rallies. As that happened, Portnoy's early celebration and his confident mayor became instant meme material and widespread online ridicule, which is good to see. His follow-up and public reaction after the loss, Portnoy posted a candid apology video in which he acknowledged he jumped the gun and admitted the moment made him look foolish. He criticized some of New England's in-game decisions and conceded his premature proclamations about the Patriots' status were off base. In his follow-up, he used self-deprecating language and admitted that he looked like a total a-hole for his rant, which is funny. Viral clips and memes online over X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Bills fans and NFL rival supporters used the moment as fodder to mock Patriots fan confidence. Hashtags referencing too soon, Dave. And Patriots choke again trend regionally on X for a period Monday following the game. National sports talk shows and podcasts talked about the sequence as both entertaining fan moment and caution about premature declarations in sports, which is cool to see. Other Dave Portnoy stories about cross-trending too as well. Around the same period, Portnoy was in the news for not yet paying a publicized $1,000 Ohio State-Michigan bet. A separate story that became another online talking point and extended social media attention around him, which is funny. First, we're going to the Browns. Well, let me make sure I did ask. Yeah, Hunt won't be making it tonight. It happens. Maybe we'll try to get him in next week. We'll be talking about the Browns' 14th game versus the Bears. The Browns lost. We are now 3-11, which is great to see. We lost 31-3. Horrible game. Caleb Williams completed 17 of 18 passes for 242 yards, 8.6 average, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. He got sacked 3 times for 23 yards. His QB rating out of 100 was 67.6. His RTG was 112.5. Cleveland, Shedeur Sanders completed 18 for 37 for 177 yards of a 5.1 average. Still not the worst. 0 touchdowns, though. 3 interceptions. Horrible. A lot of those weren't his fault. Sometimes, wide receivers, fumble it, and they hit it up, and it goes into defense. I know that at least was one of them. He was sacked 5 times for 35 yards. His QB rating was horrible at 8.2 with a 30.2 rating overall. And obviously, with those 3 interceptions, that's really what does it. Rushing for Cleveland, Shedeur Sanders had 2 carries for 24 yards. Kershawn Jenkins had 12 carries for 21 yards, a 1.8 average, a really bad average for him. Shedeur Sanders had a 12-yard average. Trayvon Williams was 1 for 3, horrible. Fannin Jr. was 1 for 2 as well. Where is that guy? Maybe it's Williams or maybe it's Hurt. That guy we have. I thought it was like Simmons or something. The guy from Tennessee. Chicago rushing. Swift had 18 carries for 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kyle Mongol had 11 carries for 33 yards. He did a lot of running. Caleb Williams had 3 runs for 13 yards. Receiving, Cleveland Isaiah Bond had 2 catches for 89 yards. Fanning Jr. had 7 catches for 48. Jerry Jeudy had 2 catches for 10. Corley, 83, the rookie, I think he is, 1 for 10. For Chicago, they had Lufer, Burden, Referred, 6 receptions, 84 yards, 14-yard average. DJ Moore had 4 for 69, 2 touchdowns. Loveland, 4 for 63. Cole Kemp, 2 for 28. So really, Browns had a really bad year. A really bad game. Myles Garrett had 1.6 sacks. Just A. Booker for the Bears had 2 tackles. Schwarzenegger had 14 tackles, 4 solo. T.J. Edwards for the Bears had 9 tackles, 5 solo. So our defense is still doing good, kind of. We didn't force any turnovers. They got 21 first downs compared to our 9 total yards. They had 361 compared to our 192. So really, like, our defense needs to stop more. But, turnovers would help with that as well. But Caleb Williams is having a really good year. Red zone, we were 0 for 1 and they were 3 for 4. So you ain't winning that game. But Brown's only points came from a field goal with no offensive touchdown scored. Like I said, Sanders also led the team in rushing, so crazy. Historical defense dominance and turnovers. The Bears defense set the tone, consistently pressuring Sanders and capitalizing on turnovers. Their 3 interceptions help Chicago control momentum and field positions. Sorry about that. Offensive line problems and miscommunications are for Browns. Play calling wristband for Sanders contributed to early chaos. Miscommunication with that. Head coach Kevin Stefanski acknowledged that Cleveland Browns QB was initially working with a wrong wristband, a critical error that disrupted early drives and likely contributed to penalties and stalled possessions. I'm sorry. How do you give your quarterback for a wrong wristband? We need to fire people. I can't. And maybe it's Stefanski. That's freaking dumb. Injury impacted personnel changes. Cleveland's offense was undermined with multiple offensive line injuries, wrecking protection for Sanders and limiting run game. Defensive milestone chase. Despite the loss, DN Myles Garrett contributed his strong season. He had 1.5 sacks and is with 1 sack a time the NFL season record. Yes, TJ. Might be wrong now. Yep, Browns. Let's see who we play next. We play the Bills, so we're losing that one Sunday, December 21st at 1 p.m. At least the Browns get a Christmas gift, and we don't have to watch that freaking game. We'll go into F1 offseason real quick. This should be a quick topic just because it's in the offseason. Make sure you drop a like if you haven't already. Also, in the bottom right, there's a bell. If you want to be notified whenever we go live, ring that bell. You can also subscribe. That helps as well, and make sure that you get notified when we go live. Also, we have our Facebook in the description. Make sure to follow us on there. I'd really appreciate that. So once again, like I talked about before, next year for F1, we get a technical regulation change in 2026, massive, and racing rule overhaul. Arguably the biggest in sports history. F1's confirmed that the traditional DRS drag reduction system will be retired and replaced with a suite of new racing rule race aiding systems, including overtake mode, a direct replacement for DRS, that allows a strategic deployment of extra power within 1 second of arrival, and that's how DRS worked. Your back wing would open up within you in 1 second. However, then they have boost mode, gives drivers an optimal on-demand boost of engine and battery power for attacking or defending. Then they have active aero in the front wing and the back wing. Before, DRS was just active aero in the back wing. Now it's in both. Excuse me. Movable wings that drivers could use dramatically to balance downforce and straight line speed. And also, I believe this overtake mode it's only activated once a lap, which kind of already how it works for F1 now. However, there's normally DRS. There's 2 zones, so how it works is no matter how many zones there are for this new overtake mode, you only get scanned once. So it's going to be competitive. The cars themselves will be smaller, lighter, and with narrower aero profiles, less width, improving agility and emphasizing driver skill. Less of big tires, which will be interesting to see. Tires are still 18 inches of, diameter. However, they are now, or maybe 18-inch wheels, my bad. They are now less width. Power units are a 50-50 split between electric power and internal combustion, part of F1's sustainability push. However, I'm one of those fans that if for biofuel they're creating safe and the emissions are safe, maybe we could just go back to V10s. That would be nice. The overhaul is dominating conversation because it promises to reshape racecraft strategy and car design, essentially creating a new era of Formula One that teams and drivers must adapt to. I'm hoping this helps out drivers like Lewis Hamilton who's used to driving cars like this. I'm also hoping that this makes way more competitive racing. Concord governance agreed signed through 2023. The sports governance landscape just shifted with a new 11 teams, signing a newer Concord governance agreement that runs through 2030. This agreement solidifies the technical and sports framework for the next several years, giving teams and FIA a long-term stable platform to develop around the new regulations and maintain commercial predictability. This trending topic isn't just about bureaucracy. It's seen as a key signal that everyone is entering a long-term phase of strategic growth, especially with the entry of new manufacturers of Cadillac and Audi in 2026 and expanded commercial opportunities, like we're talking about in Africa. Maybe some more tracks in Saudi Arabia would be interesting. I'm really excited for it. There's also Christian Horner, potential return to leadership role. One of the most talked about off-track narratives is a possible return to Christian Horner, former Red Bull team principal, to a team leadership position. Reports suggest Horner could secure at stake and operate an influence at Alpine, potentially co-owning and managing a team alongside public figures like Ryan Reynolds and Rory McIlroy. I do love Rory. They've kind of been on like Drive to Survive. They've been on some races because they're part owners of this French team Alpine. That's also partly owned by Renault, which is owned by the French government. So people of France own, I believe, 50% of Alpine. I think half of it's private owned, half of it's owned by Renault, which, like I said, is a national ran company in France. I don't think they should do this. Christian Horner is good. They have decent team principal right now. It's just like they already kind of have a guy that's sketchy, so why bring in another sketchy guy? Max Verstappen's off-track commercial moves. Even after losing the 2025 Drivers' Champion to Lando Norris, Max Verstappen is creating headlines for his business activities. He recently signed a groundbreaking multi-year partnership with e-commerce company Fanatics, becoming one of the first active F1 drivers of this kind of global merchandise and trading card deal. Max Verstappen trading cards, bro, I can't. Max Verstappen table card simulator, like Fanatics, I don't know if you guys know, is the big company that has basically overtaken sports memorabilia. When I went to a Browns game, it used to be like Browns owned the team shop. Now it's like Fanatics. So I don't know if they run it. I don't know if they own it. I don't know if they have agreements. But they are good. I won't lie. Even if F1, I've bought stuff from them. They've been nice. There's other better F1 stores. Like F1 Flan. Let's look it up. There's some stuff in Netherlands that are really quick. They'll deliver you stuff from the Netherlands in 2 days, which is crazy. I don't know how that works. Just from a plane, from DHS, from the Netherlands, and this gets here in 2 days. Blew my mind. Got a hat. Which is kind of funny. This agreement includes exclusive merchandise rights and one-of-a-kind trading card tied to his record-breaking fastest Monza lap, which is cool. And I think, like, I don't know if Fanatics should be doing this, but like maybe Topps should be making F1 cards for this drivers as a whole every year. That'd be kind of cool. And stuff like have like secret cards that are just like the fastest lap and extra cards like that. This trend highlights how elite drivers are now building global commercial brands just outside racing, and it's driving engagement with a wider audience besides typical motorsports fan. It will be interesting to see how long Max is in F1 for this, though. He talked about taking time off. He talked about racing GT3 one day, Le Mans, stuff like that would be interesting. Record U.S. viewership and shift in broadcast landscape. The 2025 season just closed with record viewership figures in the United States, making it one of the most watched F1 seasons ever on traditional TV as it ended ESPN's broadcasted run. Sad. Average viewership hit about 1.3 million per race, with many individual events setting new records, a sign of F1's growth commercial and fan footprint in one of the sport's key markets, which is great to see. This topic feeds into broader off-season discussion about where F1 goes in a multiple media and global engagement, including how digital platforms like Apple new TV rights deal with 2026 onward may change how fans consume the sport. Also, please, for the love of God, change the times up a little bit. It will help us out so much. More people will watch. We're having record numbers, and we have to watch at 3 a.m. We have to watch at 12 at night. We have to watch at 8 in the morning. Sometimes we have to watch at 3 p.m. Sometimes we have to watch at 6 p.m. I love that F1's a global sport, and they always talk about this too. I love it, like, because the last race is always in Abu Dhabi, And since we're in Abu Dhabi and F1, like Elias Broadcasting, it's all run in Great Britain. One of the last things they always say is, thank you for all retired moms and dads working in Great Britain to make sure we could watch this. And I feel like that's really respectable. But it shows that, like, even the fans, for workers, it sucks because it's a global sport, so the times always change every weekend. I love it, but for that reason, like, it sucks. Like, literally, when I watch F1, I'll save on my favorites what weekend it is. I'll save all the screenshots for it all the time, so I know. Beyond official announcements, fans are actively debating how teams will adapt strategically to the huge 2026 rule change, including pit stop and sprint updates. I think there's a higher speed limit at 80 kilometers an hour instead of 60. Speculation on where teams in 5 years in terms of competitive investment, what simulation and gaming communities want from future F1 video titles, and the sports evolves, which is cool. And we see these like F1 sports bars popping up in America now. We'll go into a quick IndyCar off-season, major schedule and event. Actually, before this, F1 also announced for 2026 they're going back to Portugal to race, which I really like. A couple years ago, if it was like F1 23, you were able to get some of the tracks. If you played career, you could like update the tracks after every season. So you were able to play in China when they didn't race in China 2 years ago or 3 years ago. They do now. And you were able to do, I think, Fuji too, and Portugal, which is really cool. There's some other tracks, but now we're going to IndyCar. Major schedule and event developments. One of the biggest off-season stories is the release of a 17-race 2026 IndyCar schedule, which builds significant momentum for the sport's next season. Highlights include a packed March with 4 events in 5 consecutive weeks, which is really cool. Because I'm pretty sure it starts at St. Petersburg. We're going to Phoenix Raceway and Arlington, which is a new straight race from America, and Barber Motorsports Track, a unique primetime oval block featuring night races and a season launch that benefits from a broadcast let in from a 2026 FIFA World Cup final, which will be really cool. So it goes FIFA World Cup final on the same show and then IndyCar after, underscoring IndyCar's growing engagement with mainstream sports broadcasting. A return of the season finale at WeatherTech Raceway at Laguna Seca, and continued traditional stops at classics like Long Beach and Mid-Ohio. Love to see that. Love Laguna Seca too. I love that it'll be the last race now. It won't be an oval. This scheduled rollout is trending because it signals a strategic expansion of venues and formats, ovals, street courses, and road circuits designed to enhance fan engagement and media exposure. Number 2, the FIA super license points changes and IndyCar visibility. The FAA has revised how super license points are allocated to IndyCar drivers, increasing points given to drivers finishing in the top 9 at the championship, 1 to 9 actually. If you win, it stays the same. This makes it easier for successful IndyCar competitors to become eligible for Formula One super license. This actually would have helped out Colton Herta, sadly. Independent officiating systems launch. IndyCar announced a new independent officiating structure for the 2026 season, shifting enforcement of rules and inspections to a board-led body separate from the series and its owner, Penske Entertainment Corp. Weird. Penske's going to start being bad again. They're never going to win another Indy 500 because they can't cheat. You know what I mean? It's sad. I saw it. We talked about this when I was at the Indy 500 last year. People posted online. They had for back-to-back winning championship car for Joseph Newgarden, and you could see that it was blended, which is crazy. The actuator was blended. You could see it. I know carbon fiber. Used to paddle a carbon fiber canoe. It's gaining attention because it may improve perceived fairness and transparency in race results and engagement, reduce conflicts of interest by distracting officiating decisions from direct team or promoter control, because obviously the promoter and owner of IndyCar, team owner, Robert Penske, shouldn't be the ones hiring the officiating team. Some high-profile drive and team modes. Mick Schumacher, which we talked about, Formula 1 driver and son of Michael Schumacher, 7-time winner and one of the GOATs tied with Lewis Hamilton, as greatest of all times to me, has confirmed a full seat switch to IndyCar for Rahal Letterman Racing, Lanigan as well, for 2026, which is awesome. I wonder what Letterman did for that. including competing in the Indy 500, a move that has significant buzz in both IndyCar and broader motorsports communities. And I know Will Buxton's happy, and I'm happy for you, Will. Can't wait to see it for Indy next year. I'm pretty sure you're still doing it for... no, that's F1. Yeah, they're still going to have it with Fox Sports, I believe, next year. But Will Buxton should be there, and he gets to talk with Mick. Oh, dude, Will Buxton's been there announcing in F1 when Mick's raced before. That's amazing. I love that these sports are so tied up nowadays. That's going to do a lot of actual buzz. Like, Indy might be packed this year. And in Indy NXT by Firestone, the IndyCar Development Ladder, several teams and drivers are signing on for 2026, including expansion by Chip Ganassi Racing, new entries from Cusack Morgan Motorsports. Is that John Cusack, bro? That'd be crazy. And the signing of Juan Manuel Correa are all suggesting a more competitive and diverse feeder series ahead of the main championship, which is cool to see. There's uncertainty around Prima's racing future in IndyCar drew commentary after IndyCar leadership publicly addressed financial and participation rumors, which fans are watching closely. Week-to-week community threads are expressing the lack of live racing during the off-season in anticipation for upcoming official announcements, illustrating how deeply engaged the fan base remains even without races on the calendar, and everyone's waiting for even February when races come back. Other fans query focus on speculation about available race seats at Dale Curran Racing in general. Excitement about trying IndyCar events for new spectators, including crossover fans from F1. That's from Reddit, as well as what's going to happen with Connor Daly. Pittsburgh Penguins, let's see how they've done since last week. Last Thursday, they lost to Montreal 4-2. They've been doing horrible. Joey was the goalie. Rest was our MVP. Saturday, December 13th, we lost to San Jose Sharks at home. Sad. 6-5 in overtime. Never overtime loss. Silvers was our goalie. Manfa was our MVP. Sunday, we lost to Utah 5-4 in overtime. At least we're getting points, but this is horrible. Musharov was our goalie, and Kendall was the MVP. Tuesday, Edmonton... we lost 6-4, which makes us 14-9. Skinner was our goalie. Novak MVP. Today we're playing Ottawa. Last time I checked, we were losing. Let me see. So, the Penguins are currently losing 3-0. There's 19 minutes and 37 seconds left in the third, and they're playing the Senators. Cavs lost yesterday to the Bulls, 127-111. Talk about that in a little bit as well. Back to the Penguins, though. They play Saturday again against Montreal at 7 at Montreal. Then Sunday we're at home against Montreal at 7. I think my old coworker's going to go to that. James and Reagan have a good time. They're Canadian fans. Then we have Tuesday. We play against Toronto at 4. Then back after that, after Christmas, we're back on Sunday playing against Chicago at 7. Right now, the Metropolitan Division standings: Carolina's first, 21-9, doing really well, with 44 points. New York Islanders are 19-12 with 41 points. Phillies 17-9. Phillies having a good year with 40 points. Washington's 18-11, doing a little better with 40 points. Pittsburgh's 14-9, 37 points. New Jersey's 18-14. 37 points. Interesting. Not many overtime losses. So New Jersey's just having a lot of losses. Not spreading it out to overtime. A lot of people have a lot of overtime. Then we have the Rangers, 16-15. Once again, a lot of more wins than Pittsburgh, but more losses. And that's how it goes in hockey. So it's 36 points for the Rangers. Columbus dead last because they suck. 14-13-6. Sorry, Hunter. 34 points. Rough. For Penguins, team leaders right now in goals. So we have Sidney Crosby with 19 goals. He has 8 power play goals on 78 shots. Assists, Erik Karlsson, 22. His plus-minus is 1. His power play assist is 8. Total points, Sidney Crosby, the GOAT, the Cap, as we like to call him. 35 points, 19 goals, and 16 assists. Goals per game, Pittsburgh is 3.22. Goals against per game is 3.03. That's 15th. Power play percent, 31.3. That's third. That's crazy. That's pretty good. Penalty kill, 81.6. 14. Crazy. Crazy to see. For the Columbus Blue Jackets, since last Thursday, they lost against Ottawa 6-3. Greaves was their goalie, Jenner was their MVP. Saturday, they lost to Vegas 3-2. Greaves was their goalie. Chinakhov was their MVP, or person who got the most points. Tuesday, they won against Anaheim 4-3 in overtime, which makes them 13-6, like I said. Greaves was MVP, Greaves was their goalie, Wojnarowski their MVP. Today, they were playing against Minnesota. That started at 7. Let me look up that score real quick. It's 2-2 with 20 minutes left in the third. So hopefully they can get that for Hunter. Saturday, they play Anaheim again at 10. In Anaheim. That's how you know it's an Anaheim game. Then they're in LA. Monday the 22nd at 10. Play with Kings. Sunday the 28th. They're playing New York at 5 p.m. I'm pretty sure we won't be having a show next week of Christmas. The Metropolitan... Oh, wait, you want to know that? So for the team leaders for the Blue Jackets, Dmitry Vonkov, left wing number 10, has 12 goals, 5 power play goals on 63 shots. Assists, Wojnarowski defense, 25, plus or minus 7, 8 power play assists. Points, Zach Wojnarowski defense, 36, 11 goals, 25 assists. Their goals per game is 2.91. Their goals against per game is 3.46, which is 29th in the league. Which is way worse than Pittsburgh, actually. That's kind of crazy. Power play percent is 18.5, which is 18th in the league. And penalty kill is 27.8, 30th in the league. So just having a really bad year. Defense not doing well. Sad to see. Now we're going to the Cavs. Last Friday, they won against Washington, 130-126. Mitchell had 48 points, popping off. Mobley, 13 rebounds. And Mobley, 6 assists. Sunday, we played Charlotte and lost in overtime, 119-111. That makes us 15-12. Garland, 26 points. Tyson, 13 rebounds. Garland, 19 assists. We also, like I said, lost against Chicago yesterday, and that makes us 15-13. Central standings. We have Detroit, number 1, 21-5. They've been doing really well for winning 4 in a row. Cleveland is 15-13, losing 2 in a row. We have Milwaukee, and these might be updated. This was from 2 days ago, or yesterday. Milwaukee was 11-16. Chicago 10-15, and Indiana 6-12, 6-20. So Indiana really fallen off for a while. I don't know if you guys knew. Milwaukee kind of helped out our division a lot, and Indiana was good for a bit too. It used to be Detroit and Chicago were the worst teams. Cleveland was middle or sometimes at the top. So that's very interesting. Our team leaders, points per game, Donovan Mitchell with 30.7. That's crazy, almost 31 points a game. 34.5 minutes with a 49.4 field goal percentage. Assist point game, Donovan Mitchell, 5.5. We need Garland doing a little bit better at that, but we do have the ball going for Mitchell a lot. Like I said, his turnovers per game is a 3.3, so not bad at all. Field goal percentage, Jalen Tyson, guard, 52.7. He has about 28.2 minutes a game and 13.1. For the Cavs, our stats so far, we have 118.7 points per game, 45 rebounds a game, and 26.8 assists per game. That's really it for me, guys. I knew we were kind of having a busy week this week. I don't want to be too long. We have Christmas coming up. Sports haven't been too bad. Once again, let's talk a little bit. I know we kind of already have about college football. So once again, oh man, I actually don't know what team that is. So, can I just see what games? Alright. Let's see. So we have James Madison, 12. I knew they were, that's kind of crazy, JMU. Playing Oregon, 5. Oregon's going to whoop them. whoever wins that game, and will go on to the Orange Bowl to play against Texas Tech. Then we have Alabama playing Oklahoma. Alabama is ranked 9, Oklahoma is ranked 8, JMU is ranked 12, Oregon is ranked 5. I think actually Alabama will probably win that game. They go play Indiana in the Rose Bowl, which I think Oregon's going to win the last game. Then we have number 11 Tulane playing number 6 Ole Miss, who I think is going to win. Then Ole Miss will be playing Georgia in the All-State Sugar Bowl. Then we have Miami, Florida, number 10, playing Texas A&M 7. Whoever will win that will go on to play the Cotton Bowl with Ohio State. Always Goodyear on Ohio State. They love Goodyear. They love sponsoring that area. It's funny. That's interesting, actually. I think Texas A&M might be able to pull it off, but realistically, I think it actually might be a Miami win. Miami will be playing Ohio State, like we used to back in the day. I think Texas Tech will be beating Oregon in the Orange Bowl. Indiana will be beating Alabama. Georgia will be beating Ole Miss, and Ohio State will be beating Miami. Then we will be having in the Chick-fil-A Pete's Bowl, we'll have Texas Tech playing Indiana, which I think Indiana will win. Then in the Fiesta Bowl, we will have Georgia and Ohio State, which I think Ohio State will win. Then at the National Championship, I think will be a rematch of Ohio State and Indiana, and Ohio State will win because it won't be at It's at Hard Rock Stadium, Miami. Thank God it is not in Indianapolis. Because once again, I think that gave them a huge boost. If I was playing for Indiana and I got to play at Lucas Oil, that would put some nut behind me, and I would win that game. And I also think Ohio State has a record of losing to a team and then beating them later on in the year a lot. So, especially in the playoffs. So, once again, I think we'll get back-to-back, and that would be awesome. Well, that's really it for me, guys. We had about 33-minute episode after all our video and me actually showing once I showed up. So once again, I hope you enjoyed our talk show tonight. Just me. We tried to get Hunter in here, but he wasn't able to make it tonight. Northeast Ohio Sports Show with me, Liam, on the Lee Doodle channel. Make sure you drop a like. Even if you're watching the video on demand, it helps us out a ton. And then also, if you really could, follow us on Facebook, subscribe, post on our Facebook, like reshare that so your friends could see and we get more people watching. That'd be really nice. And just like on there as well, get us boosted, because I don't pay to boost my content or ads. I don't feel like that's right, personally. And just money-wise, I feel like that's a waste. People will watch your stuff no matter what, even if you have an ad. I think ads are annoying, too, for this kind of stuff, so just me. But we'll be back here Monday with our week ahead news show with me and Tommy. Hope everyone has a great weekend, almost there. One more week till Christmas. We can make it, guys, and make sure you wrap your gifts. Love you all. Have a great night. One more day. Friday's almost there, and then the weekend, which we all work toward.